Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds.
Today we're doing the science fiction film booktube tag. So it's a bunch of movies that inspired questions. And this was created by a man with a hat who reads.
And we were tagged by Gareth from Book, Songs, and Other Magic.
Yep. Okay, question number 1. Welcome to Earth, Independence Day. A novel about alien invasion.
Okay, I have a good one for this.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Joe's like, I don't read space things.
I don't, but I have a
Okay.
good one for this.
Yeah.
Have you read The Host by Stephanie Meyer?
No.
You have to read that.
Yeah, I do.
She wrote Twilight, so I was like on the Twilight kick way back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And then she came out with her like adult book, and it was The Host, and it's about an alien invasion type of parasite
Okay.
alien that
Uh-huh.
comes and like they're called souls.
Uh-huh.
And they like come into you and they take over your body, and they're a
See.
parasite.
It doesn't really sound like something I would like, but because I like her, I kind of want to read it.
It was good.
So you think I would like it?
Yeah.
So I don't generally like sci-fi, but there's some that I can tolerate. I just don't like being like locked in deep space and things like
No,
that.
me
You know,
neither.
like without oxygen. Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
okay.
of our stuff I guess overlaps, but we're
Yeah.
mostly fantasy and
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, I chose Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I mean, no brainer. I love it. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
And I first saw the movie before I read the book, and I think it's my only experience in life where I've seen the movie first and then read the book and still loved it. Like, had a great time reading it. It's hilarious. If you haven't read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
I haven't.
I think it's worth a read.
Yeah?
It will make you chuckle. It references like the aliens don't do anything unless they have it in triplicate form. So it reminds me of like state agencies and how
Yeah.
they operate. So
Yeah.
it makes me chuckle.
That's funny. Okay.
I enjoy it.
Cool.
Okay, next question. Number 2, Life Finds a Way, Jurassic Park, a novel where science runs amok.
Okay, so I have The Third Twin by Ken Follett, and that was a book I read very early in my reading days as a young teen or whatever, and it was a really cool book. It's about cloning. They clone people, and
That's not going to go well.
yeah, it never goes well.
Yeah.
So it started with like identical twins being born by different women
Okay.
through their in vitro clinic,
Weird.
illegally implanted
Uh-huh.
the same, like they cloned the sperm and then they like, or whatever it is, and then they implanted it in different women. So they were
Wow.
identical human beings born in different
Host.
hosts.
Wow.
And then it just gets even crazier and crazier. It's a pretty cool book.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Interesting. I chose Maze Runner, which I also really enjoy. That was by James Dashner, and I read that probably like 20 years ago when it came out. But science totally runs amok there. Like, people are locked in a space that you don't really understand what the space is. Why are they there? And I don't want to say too much, because if you haven't read it, like the discovery of like why are they trapped here, you know, what's going on is like a major part of the storyline, just like, you know, trying to analyze and figure it out. But it does end up being because of like some experimentation, I'll say that much. And as you go on in the other books after that, it's like, wow, things have really gotten out of control with science and life and all of that. Okay, number 3, May the Odds Be Ever in Your Favor, The Hunger Games, a novel about dystopian Earth.
Okay, so I read this book a long time ago, and I also love the movie I Am Number 4
Okay.
by Pittacus Lore. You haven't read those?
No.
Oh, this is a Mary book.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you
Getting
didn't see
good
the movie.
recommendations today. No, I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, you gotta read the books.
Okay.
It's cool. It's like they're numbered, and like number 3 refers to like the individual. So number 3 dies, and then like number 4 is supposed to die, and like so 9 gifted children and their keepers like get a hold of this charm that stops them from being killed out of order. No, I'm sorry, in order.
Okay.
So like they have to try to evade that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can't describe these things, but it's great. It's very popular. I'm sure many of you have read it.
And it sounded like it was gripping.
And there's a lot
Like,
of books. in
which
the
way is it going to
series.
go?
It should be your next series.
I'm so busy. I'm backlogged. Maybe.
She'll read them in a week.
I know, right? All right, so I have read so much dystopian, but I feel like I've talked a lot about all of them on the channel. So I picked one of an author that we had done an interview with a while back, The Fork by Alex Parisi. And this one was dystopian times set in Philadelphia when, you know, everything had been knocked down and they're trying to learn ways to like find food that we can eat and use tools that can be productive, and like different clusters of groups are forming and like trying to steal like the skilled ones from other people. So, good book.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, number 4 from Star Wars. These aren't the droids you're looking for. A novel about robots.
I think I've read like one robot book, and it's In the Lives of Puppets by
Me
T.J.
too.
Klune. Yes, it's your pick too.
That was what I chose. Yep.
Yeah, we love that book.
We do. So what was it about? So like, you know, the end of the world, everything's like run amok, and you have
One of the robots is a vacuum cleaner.
a vacuum cleaner. You have like a health aid robot,
Right. It's the nurse.
and then you have one human,
Yep.
and then like the father figure robot who was like a carpenter, like Geppetto, because it was like a nod to Pinocchio throughout the book.
Yeah.
And they go on a little adventure and meet some other people and develop attachments. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say people. Meet some other beings.
Found family is
Yes,
the theme.
found family, absolutely. Next question, number 5. I can't say this one.
Klaatu, barada, nikto.
From The Day the Earth Stood Still, a novel where immortality and resurrection plays a part.
I mean, I don't know. So I'm thinking like vampires,
Yeah.
something like this. So take your pick. Twilight,
That's what I said. You're taking my pick.
Interview with a Vampire. Like, I don't know.
Fuck, wait. Okay.
I gotta read more of these things, I guess.
No, we read lots of these things.
I don't know.
I've read so many vampire books, but like as
Yeah,
soon
I
as they
haven't.
said immortality, I was like, Twilight. That was my immediate answer.
That's the go-to.
Did you like Twilight? For the most part, you did,
I think the books got much better
What is with
as
all
the
these
series
airplanes?
went on.
but better as it went on. Yes, but then you didn't
Yeah.
love the most recent
Oh.
book.
That was horrible.
Pause for plane. You didn't really like the most recent one with Edward's perspective.
Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah, but all the books before that were good. I loved them. They were totally Mary books because
3 and 4 were the best.
the romance part.
1
but
and 2,
for Joe, yeah, because 3 and 4 had more like vampire complexities, you know, and like battles
cool.
and like deeper layers to it and whatnot, and like you know, battling with other groups like the werewolves and whatnot. So I get that like those were more of a Joe book, but Mary loved the whole series.
And she evolved as a writer, I think.
Yeah. All right, next one, number 6, E.T. Phone Home from the movie E.T., a novel about space travel.
Do you know what I'm going to pick, Mary? Take a wild guess.
Space travel. No, I don't know what you're
What's the
gonna
book
pick.
I always talk about on this channel that I like from my childhood?
Oh, A Wrinkle in Time?
A Wrinkle in Time!
Do they go in space?
They go all over space to different planets.
I didn't remember that about that. I thought it was like time travel to like different dimensions.
That's my next answer for another book in the series. Yep.
So they go to different planets and stuff?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
You love that book.
It's great.
Yeah.
What's yours?
I chose Cinder by Marissa Mayer. This one I probably could have used for the robots, sort of. They're like humans and androids and cyborgs.
They're on the moon?
And there's like lunar people that are the bad people, and they're like in a dystopian, destroyed world. And it's a nod to Cinderella because of Cinder is the title, and like I think it was her foot that was like a bionic foot kind of thing, and like it fell off on the steps when fleeing the prince, you know, type of scenario.
Yeah.
So there were little things like that. It was not really, other than that, it didn't scream Cinderella story, but it was great. I loved the characters, very addictive. I like tore through that series.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next one, number 7. I'll Be Back, The Terminator, a novel about time travel.
All right, so for this, I chose another book on the Time Quintet, Swiftly Tilting Planet. So in this one, Charles Wallace is 15 years old now.
Okay.
And he goes traveling with a unicorn back in
Cool.
time to stop the world's destruction by a mad dictator.
Okay.
It's great.
Nice. I chose The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. Did I do that well?
Niffenegger? Sure.
Okay. I read this one when it came out, and it's like 20 some odd years ago, I feel like, at this point. It was her debut novel, and I loved it. And it was at a time where like I wasn't quite reading. I was just finishing with schooling, and I was trying to get back into reading. And I read this book, and I was like, books are amazing. So I really, really, really love The Time Traveler's Wife.
Okay.
This guy he popped in and out of this woman's existence. He would be like naked on her lawn when she was 10 years old. Like, you know, he just popped in at that moment. And you never knew when he was going to show up and what age he was going to be. because he could show up as an old man, he could show up as like an 18-year-old, all throughout her
Really?
life in like different ways.
That's cool.
And I loved it. It was really engaging.
That sounds good.
So I'm glad that we were doing this tag because I went looking, and she's written other books since then.
Oh, great. Are you going to read them?
Absolutely, because I loved her so much. Now I need to see like what these other ones are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're going to be very busy.
I know. So
I gave you a
many.
whole series to read.
And I'm finding more for myself. Anyway, so that's the tag. Now we got to tag some friends. I did not write anybody down. Who are we tagging?
We are going to tag Tom Orange
Yes.
and MJ from Reading This Life
Okay.
and Fit to Be Read.
Awesome. So do the tag, guys, and let's see your answers.
If you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel,
Book Buds!
Keep tagging Book Buds. I love watching these.
And this was created by a man with a hat who reads, and we were tapped. I was going to say we're tapped. Okay. We were tapped on the shoulder by Garrett at Books, Songs, and Other Magic to do this tag. Let's do that over.
Gareth. We should have a picture.
Science fiction. We'll put something on her head, like alien antlers.
Yeah, it's got to be like...
Yeah, just smile.